Welcome to Educator's Edge, where we design smarter classrooms, build stronger systems, and help every learner thrive. I am Mandie Mauldin, founder of Learning Redesign Partners and your host for this series. After more than 20 years in education, I've seen firsthand how small changes can lead to powerful transformations, especially when we design with all students in mind. In this episode, we're diving into the first two principles of the new federal accessibility rules that are reshaping how we build digital learning environments. I'll walk you through what the guidelines mean and suggestions on how to make implementation manageable with simple changes you can start today. Whether you're a classroom teacher, instructional designer, or administrator, this episode will give you practical steps to move from overwhelmed to confident. My goal for this episode is to give you a general idea of what is required in WCAG 2.1. There are numerous things to think about, and this and the next episode are focused on those items that I anticipate I will need to address as an educator. This episode covers the first two accessibility principles, perceivable and operable. My next episode will give details of the remaining two principles, understandable and robust. Keep an eye out for shorts that focus on each principle of WCAG 2.1. I know how busy we are as educators and administrators, so I'm hoping that bite-sized pieces of information will make this process more manageable. Okay, let's get started. I primarily used W3C's website to identify the components I address here. They are the World Wide Web Consortium, an international organization. So, what is WCAG 2.1? WCAG stands for the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, and version 2.1 is the current standard used to ensure digital content is accessible to all users, including those with disabilities. Requirements must be met by April 24th, 2026 for government organizations serving more than 50,000 people, and by April 26th, 2027 for government organizations that serve less than 50,000 people. WCAG focuses on making web content, documents, and LMS systems accessible for everyone. WCAG 2.1 is built on four key principles, often remembered with the acronym POUR. Perceivable content must be visible and understandable to all users. This means using text alternatives for images, captions for videos, and designs that work for people with vision or hearing differences. Operable navigation must be possible for everyone, including those using a keyboard instead of a mouse or assistive technologies like screen readers. Understandable content must be clear and easy to follow. That includes consistent navigation, plain language, and predictable design patterns. And robust content must work across a variety of platforms, browsers, and assistive technology, so it stays accessible as technology evolves. Together, these principles help ensure that digital content is usable by everyone, regardless of ability. The first principle of WCAG 2.1 is perceivable, which means users must be able to see or hear your content in a way that works for them. Here's how to make that happen. First, provide text alternatives for any non-text content, like images or graphs, so they can be converted into formats like large print, braille, speech, symbols, or simplified language. Second, include captions for all pre-recorded and live audio or video. This helps users who are deaf or hard of hearing and also benefits learners in noisy or quiet environments. Third, ensure your media is adaptable, meaning it works in both portrait and landscape modes or can be used on various devices and screen sizes. And finally, make your content distinguishable by maintaining a minimum contrast ratio of at least 4.5 to 1. This ensures text stands out clearly against its background, especially for users with visual impairments. All of these strategies help ensure that your content isn't just available, it's accessible to all learners. The second principle is operable, which means that users must be able to navigate and interact with your content regardless of how they access it. Here's how to support that. First, make sure all functionality is operable with a keyboard. This is essential for people who use screen readers or can't use a mouse. Second, give users enough time to read and use content, and allow for adjustments when possible, like pausing moving content or extending time limits. Next, avoid content that flashes more than the allowed limit. Flashing visuals can trigger seizures or create sensory overload. And this applies beyond web pages. PowerPoint presentations, for example, often come with fun visual add ons, but those effects can create serious accessibility issues. Also, be sure your web pages have clear, descriptive titles so users know exactly what to expect. Finally, make sure the purpose of every link is clear from the link text alone. Avoid vague phrases like click here. Be specific so users know where they're going. These simple steps help make your content navigable, inclusive, and safe for all learners. Accessibility can feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. Here are 5 changes you can start making today that will make a big impact. Add alt text to images. This allows screen readers to describe visuals to users who can't see them. Caption all videos. Captions support users who are deaf or hard of hearing, and they help everyone in noisy or quiet environments. Use descriptive headings. Clear headings not only improve accessibility, they also help everyone navigate your content more easily. Check color contrast. Make sure your text is easy to read against its background. Aim for a contrast ratio of at least 4.5 to 1. And test with keyboard only navigation. If you can move through your site or materials without a mouse, that's a great sign it's accessible. Remember, start small. Each of these changes moves your content one step closer to being truly inclusive.